We are Desi drifters, driving deep into India's heart, one market at a time. First stop, the flavor packed streets of Amritsar. Our journey began in Amritsar. However, due to the rising tensions, we couldn't explore the markets as planned. But we did take a short walk around the Golden Temple, a moment of calm and grace. There, tucked away in the bylanes, we caught a glimpse of Punjab's vibrant heritage, Fulkari embroidery, proudly showcased. A traditional art form where vivid threads are hand stitched into bold floral patterns. Fulkari reflects the soul of Punjab. However, the rest had to wait, so we moved ahead to Chandigarh. In Chandigarh, we stepped into Shastri Market, a vibrant maze of colors and cultures. We spoke to the shopkeepers, curious about how they were adapting to the rise of online platforms like Amazon and Flipkart. Most of them weren't too worried. People still prefer to see, feel, and bargain in person, one of them told us with a smile. And in that moment, we understood tradition isn't going out of fashion anytime soon. We reached Manali after an overnight ride, exhausted, but one look at the snow covered peaks and the fatigue vanished. Just a short drive away from Kullu, home to the iconic hand woven shawls that have earned a geographical identification or GI tag. This tag not only protects their authenticity but also recognizes their deep cultural roots and the skilled artisan communities behind them. At a government emporium, we met the proprietor who walked us through the entire process, from sourcing raw wool to intricate handloom weaving techniques. These shawls aren't just warm, they carry the warmth of heritage. We moved to Masuri, the queen of hills. We stayed just steps away from the Tibetan market gully, run by Tibetan families who settled here after 1959. By observing and speaking with vendors, we learned how tourism shapes inventory and how fuel costs and tricky hill logistics drive prices up. With two of us unwell, only one could explore, but even that brief walk revealed how ethnic markets adapt, endure, and keep their traditions alive. In Varanasi, beyond the spiritual glow and ancient ghats, lies a marketplace of tradition, one woven into threads of silk. Drawn by the legacy of Banarasi saris, we traveled to a weaver's village on the outskirts, hoping to understand what keeps this centuries old craft alive. With no contacts and no directions, we relied on locals and met Chotu, a young boy who led us to the village's first woman sarpanch. She welcomed us into her home, surrounded by handlooms and stories. Her son guided us to a weaver's house where artisans demonstrated the intricate, time consuming process of making Banarasi saris. Despite modern challenges, from post COVID losses to fading interest among youth, their pride in their work was unshaken. Watching them weave, we realized these saris aren't just fabric, they are tradition, skill, and identity all spun into silk. Then we moved to the northeast part of India, Shillong, the capital of Meghalaya. There we visited Police Bazaar. We saw how markets adapt to pressure. From the hyper-local, seasonal Sophie Nam fruit to souvenir sellers battling rising costs, the scene was raw and real. Vendors shared stories of inflation, import struggles, and shifting youth interest. Yet, resilience thrived through shared stalls, smart pricing, and cultural pride. Shillong's market isn't just trade, it's tradition on its toes. In Sikkim, MG Mark offered more than just shopping, it was a showcase of tradition. Local shops displayed hand-woven woolens and vibrant prayer flags, while tea sellers proudly offered tastings of their loose leaf teas, sharing stories of their origin with every cup. The market felt like a calm conversation between culture, craftsmanship, and a curious traveler. Kolkata welcomed us with heat, chaos, and a charm uniquely its own. Hathibagan Market stood out for its hand-woven Bengali saris, rich in heritage and elegance. And of course, we couldn't leave without tasting the famous rasgullas and mishti doi, sweet enough to make the heat worth it. Even in the rush, the soul of tradition was unmistakably alive. In Chennai, a quick search on Google led us directly to the center of its commerce, T Nagar, a market deeply rooted in the city's character. We spoke with a local vendor of saris and learned about the reasons for Kanchipuram silk retaining its dominance in the sari industry. The saris, handloomed in local districts, are in demand for their pure silk yarns, heavy zari borders, and durability. Kodaikanal's market offered rich, handcrafted chocolates and pure essential oils made from locally grown herbs and flowers. No preservatives, no shortcuts. The town's strict plastic free policy shaped how everything was packaged and sold, reinforcing its eco conscious charm. We moved to Kochi. Kochi's Jewtown stood out for its aromatic spice markets selling cardamom, pepper, and cinnamon sourced from nearby hills, alongside antique stores filled with vintage brassware and colonial era treasures, a living blend of heritage and trade. We then moved to the final destination of our journey, Goa. Goa's markets greeted us with fresh cashews, often unpeeled to lock in crunch, and tangy kokum in all forms, dried, syrup, and sherbet. A flavorful farewell to a journey we will never forget. The journey ends, but the stories we found in every stall and street will echo far beyond. From valleys to the coast, we didn't just explore markets, we explored India's soul, one flavor at a time.